is not to this day the warmest guy in the world. He's got his own stuff going on.
Sure.
But first of all, at the funeral, he had a Bluetooth in the whole time, which was not the best look. He's like an old man. He's got his Bluetooth in the whole time. But when they got to the plot, my where my grandma was being buried, he's got a plot next to her. And he walked over to it, and he was talking to my aunt, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he's finally getting emotional. Like, I wonder if he's, like, assessing his life and going, like, oh, man, spent my life with her. And then my aunt, like, rolled her eyes and walked over to us and said, Papa doesn't think that there's going to be enough room for him in the grave next to Ma. So he just saw the plot, and he was like, sure there's enough room for me in there? Like, he wanted a different one.
He wanted a spacious.
Yeah.
Or did he want to be away from her? Maybe there's too much time they spent together, and he's like, you know what? I'd like to be over there under that tree.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was one of the. I think it might have been both. Yeah. But that was his concern in the moment.
Yeah,
not quite
fair.
enough room for me, I don't think. It's like, it's not going to bother you at that moment anyway. Like, you're not going to feel cramped. Don't worry about it.
I know. People pick out these little spots that are amazing, or under a tree, or near a bench. Or I think I want to be cremated. I don't think I want to be buried. It just sucks just laying there.
Well, who are you going to give your ashes to?
I mean, we'll raffle them off. Lucky people.
I'll give them away on Twitter if you want.
Yeah, a little bit of Jim's ashes.
Yeah. Maybe we could put them, we could make like little, we could call them chip sacks. Because Chip would like that, a little chip sack. And we could just put a little bit of ashes, and Chip fans could buy some of Jim's ashes in a little chip sack.
Well, they'd want Chip's ashes. They wouldn't want Jim's ashes. They would want Chip's ashes. And you could call them, you wear them around your neck to inspire humor. There's something
That's
there.
a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I agree.
Maybe people could have, do you think when you pass on, people will have candlelight vigils for Chip Chipperson?
It depends on when and how. But yeah, I have a feeling that Chip will be remembered, and they'll blame me for removing him.
Yeah. If Jim could have just controlled his lifestyle, we still would have had Chip.
Absolutely. If they both just had two necks, So we got Matteo Lane today, too. It'll be nice to we haven't had him in quite a while, have we?
No, it's been a long time. We haven't had him since we started Zooming everybody in, so it was the very beginning of this.
Right. I believe it's 4 months
still
4 months.
Crazy.
It's crazy. We've been Zooming for 4 months.
Yeah. Actually, a little over 4 months. Yeah. I was thinking about that actually this morning. There was something like, I was like realizing that there was a period of time where I was like, oh, I'll just do this the whole time we're in quarantine, whether it was like, I don't know, wear the same pair of pants or whatever it was, because I'm just in the house anyway. But then, how quickly that fell off, because you realize, oh, we're not going to be here for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, this is just how we're going to live our life now.
Well, I said I'm going to do this through the entire quarantine, and I meant entertain. And I'm so happy I've stuck with that. I'm going to entertain through the entire quarantine.
You have accomplished that goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever just have those days
levels
where I'm just like, I'm shooting so much stuff for Chip, and I'm doing this nonsense and UFC. And then there's days where I just want to do nothing. I'm like, I have not a creative thought at all right now. I just want to sit here like a lump. I can't think. I have nothing funny to say. I have nothing interesting to say. I have nothing I want to say. I get a couple nights like that in a row sometimes where I literally just want to do nothing.
I think you need those. Yeah, I really think you need those. Because you also don't want to start pushing yourself to do stuff just for the sake of doing stuff.
No.
And then it comes out lousy. I think at some point, the reason you're able to do creative stuff is because of the way your brain works. And if you just keep doing the creative stuff and not actually using your brain and living your life, you're going to run out,
Yeah.
Like, you got to stop at some point and just recollect and then keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
But what do you do when you're doing nothing? You just like sit and...
I literally just I just fuck around on the computer, and even that's not good. Or I'll watch something. I'm tired today though. I couldn't sleep. I think I'm drinking coffee too late in the day. Like I'll go and I'll get a fucking cold brew or something just out of boredom. It's like, let me get a coffee. I just want
to do something.
To do something. I feel like I have a place to go real quick.
Right.
And I'll take a walk to Starbucks or something, and just 2 in the afternoon, and then I can't drink cold brew at 2 in the afternoon. It's like
you can't drink
it.
If you drink at 2 in the afternoon, it'll keep you up.
I don't know if it will or not. I just know that I haven't been sleeping, and when I don't sleep, it's usually when I drink caffeine too late.
Oh, I thought you meant like 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, maybe a little later, 2, 3. Yeah. I do well in the
crazy.
morning. I know.
Wow.
I'm tuckered out.
Between that and burial insurance.
I know. I just saw that this morning.
Burial
insurance.
Burial insurance.
Can't have coffee after 2.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Dinner at 4.
I'm doddering. I'm a doddering idiot.
Right. It's got those art magazines coming in the mail.
Yep. $100,000 worth of burial insurance if I need it.
If you need it. Or maybe they heard you talking about your Roy Den Hollander saga yesterday and how much you love insurance. And they were like, hey, we got burial insurance for you. You're going to be dead before long. You don't want to. I mean, so who would.
Right. Maybe that's it. Maybe my computer heard me.
Yeah. Who would have to pay for your burial if you were dead? Like, if you didn't have insurance, would it go to your siblings?
I don't know. I guess my sister, my parents. Yeah, you're right. I suppose so. Or the state. I'd be a.
Yeah.
They have to bury me in a
I
fucking
love
crate.
You had a government, because you had so few people close to you in your life that even though you had money, it was still just a government funeral, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is really sad. This is a memoriam to Jim's loneliness. This is awful."
Yeah, I don't want to burden anybody with my carcass. But I'd rather just be just be cremated. It's just morbid to lay in the ground. It just sucks. Although I wouldn't mind my head being frozen in case they discover, like Ted Williams did. That's not crazy. They may discover a way to reactivate your fucking head.
That's true.
In 100 years, that might not be nuts.
And if they had the technology to reactivate your face, you wouldn't need your body. They could just build you one.
Oh, of course.
Plus, your body would be no good anyway. Like, all your organs would be all dried out.
They'd all be a pile of shit. But again, by the time they can do that, that's when you'll be judged on your thoughts, and they'll go in and you'll be in trouble for impure or violent thoughts or whatever. Believe me, that's coming. We just probably won't see it in our lifetimes, but people will eventually, how, like having a negative or racist or anti-feminist or whatever the thought is, whatever the against societal pleasantries thought is, you'll be punished for it. It'll be the same as screaming it on Twitter 30 years from now or 50 years from now, however long it takes. We'll miss that.
That's like an episode of The Twilight Zone. If you get your head frozen so you could live into the future, and then they figured out the technology, and they built you a robot body, and they reactivated your head, and you went out onto the street, and somebody cut you off, and you thought to yourself, oh, I want to kill that guy. And then somebody came and arrested you immediately.
Put you in jail. And then since you can't die, you spend millennium in jail. Or because we live endlessly now, you spend 800 years in jail. Yeah.
You're like, fuck. Yeah. I wish I just stayed frozen.
Yeah, you've sinned. But eventually they'll do that. I mean, they'll grab your thoughts. That'll be the hack of all time. Is when they can get into either people's brainwaves or when they can get back every text a person has ever sent or every electronic thing they've ever typed. Because somehow it gets saved. There might be a way it's saved in the atmosphere that we can't get yet. Like when you hit a digit, it may, who knows, there may be a little trace of it floating somewhere.
Some kind of metadata that can be, that we're not even, metadata is saved, and then there's some new way to decipher the metadata that brings back all this old deleted stuff.
Yeah, or it just goes, it goes into whatever the fuck happened. It's almost like, it's like shedding skin or cells. I mean, even though they're tiny, they're somewhere. So maybe it's something like that, where 100 years from now, there's a way to do it. and they're gonna see all this stuff. Every character that a person ever typed.
Yeah. I'm really we probably it's probably normal in your 30s to feel this way, that you convince yourself that you're not ready for the next 100 years anyway, so why bother? But I'm pretty sure, looking at the way we handle technology now, I don't think things are getting better. Like, I think I don't know where the peak was, but I think we're probably past the peak in terms of existence.
No, I don't agree, and I'll tell you why. I think that we're like whenever we're molting, like whenever you fucking shed a skin, and right now we're going into this place where we're all going to be just kind of calm and quiet, and for the greater good and robotic, and maybe we need that to survive the next 5,000 years. Maybe we need that. Like,
Whoa,
maybe
5,000
individuality
years?
has to go. Or however long, like as a species, yeah. Like maybe individuality has to fade away so we don't kill each other. I don't know. I don't know what evolution's like or what is, but it's happening. This is a very weird period. People who remember independence of thought and all these things are it's getting squeezed out very slowly. Very slowly. It'll happen generationally.
So you think at some point people will look back at like independent thought, for example, and go, that's like a caveman idea. That's ridiculous. We shouldn't.
In
have
a way,
that.
yeah.
It's dumb.
Like in a way, individuality, privacy, all that stuff that we just as our lives right now will be seen as like weird, clannish, cliquish behavior.
Right.
I think so, yeah. Because I think we'll be a planetary unit. And people think it's nuts, but every time we see fucking people talk about aliens, did they say they were laughing and elbowing each other in the ribs? No, they always say that they were fucking just deadpan straight idiots who probably communicated silently.
Yeah.
That's not a sign of being stupid.
Yeah, it's a sign of being like so far advanced that we just don't understand.
Yeah.
Like there's no need for facial expressions anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, talking.
Right?
Or talking.
Yeah, you don't have to talk. Yeah, everything's telepathic. And I think the like looking back, like it'll be the way we look at like the Whig Party. It's like, what were people even doing back then? People will look back on the idea of aligning yourself so hardcore as a Republican or a Democrat and taking sides and voting. They'll go, this is so animalistic. This is so far beneath what we're doing now.
Yeah, because everybody will, I think, kind of know everything anyway. Once you start getting all this knowledge and I don't know. I just think that the only way to survive that is to somehow all be on the same wavelength. So maybe in a way, as much as we hate it, maybe it's a good thing for in an evolutionary sense. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we hate it.
This is a guess.
Yeah, let's keep this in mind. We hate it because it's we're on the bottom of that totem pole. You know what I mean? We're the ones, we're the pond scum in that equation. So we're sitting there going like, no, that's a terrible way to be. But who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe they'll look back on us going, one of these little like we'll be little like atoms,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, no one saw the internet coming. No one saw there's all these weird little things that when you thought of the future, you just didn't think of them coming. We thought of, So I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking of this. Maybe because I saw that fucking burial insurance.
Yeah, you're not going to get to see any of it because
the
insurance company's going to be paying for your grave plot.
Yeah, probably right. Probably won't.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my sweatshirt off. I turn the heat up when I wake up, and now I'm warm.
I know. Well, it brings us back. I know that that's your new thing at home, but I feel like it brings us back to the studio. It's what we used to deal with every day, pretty much. Doing Jim and Sam over there at Sirius XM. I don't know if you were like me, but you see the new blue coat or gold coat or whatever it was. When you see the picture on Twitter, and some people see one thing and some people see the other thing.
Yep.
It was the audio of the reporter calling the press secretary a lying bitch.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear what it could have been. I did hear the audio. Kylie McHenry. It was a woman who said it, right?
Well, yeah. Here's the audio. This is from this is addressed to the White House press secretary yesterday.
China vaccine research. This is
Yes,
very
you've gotten
important.
2 questions,
Russia
which
has
is more than
interfered-
some of your colleagues.
Yes, thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you don't want to engage.
You hear that?
Yeah, it's in the forefront. It seems like it's a different.
I think she was
it's
just
the
in front of
forefront.
him. I think she was in front of a microphone. So it wasn't edited. It definitely, like, that's, everybody's together on that it wasn't edited. It's just that she was in front of a microphone. And it's one of those things like as you're passing the microphone, I think you don't realize it's right in front of your mouth. So you hear the rest of the reporters behind her, but she's the one who's directly in front of it.
More than some of your colleagues.
Yes, thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you don't want to engage.
So that's all I heard. That's all anybody heard. Okay, you're a lying bitch, right?
Yeah.
That's what you heard there?
It's hard to hear. I'm not willing to say that. It's hard to hear. I would like to hear just hearing the other stuff around it makes
I
it
hear
distracting.
clearly.
You do.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah,
lying bitch, right?
It sounds like
Because
it, but I'm
that's
not
what
100%
I'm
sure. I would
told
rather
it
hear
is.
it.
Right. But then did you get told what it actually was and then hear that?
Oh, cunt. She called her a cunt.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. She's a cunt.
Yeah, so I was told that it was lying bitch, and I was like, that's 100% what I hear. You know, no getting around that. Like, I was as sure about that one as I was about Roger Stone yesterday. And Roger Stone is hoping for a miracle here when he hears this, because everybody heard that until they were like, no, that's not what they said.
Let me
said-
hear that again.
Okay, all right, yeah. See if you can figure out what it actually is.
China vaccine research. This is
Yes,
very
you've gotten
important.
2 questions,
Russia
which
has
is more than
interfered-
some of your colleagues.
Yes, thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you don't want to engage.
China vaccine.
See, here's the thing. Is there a way to hear it without hearing Kylie McHenry in the background? Or Kayla McHenry? Is there a way to hear it with just that segment?
Well, there are
where
slowed down versions of it. And you'll
No, but without the audio before it. You're just chopping it.
Oh, sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah,
audio
totally.
before it.
Where you just go straight to it. Let's see if this works.
Questions, which is more than some of your
Okay.
colleagues.
Yes, thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you don't want to engage.
Does that work a little better for you?
Yeah, can I have one more time?
Yeah. I love this game. I was playing this game yesterday. Now I only hear it the real way.
Because the stuff around it is what's distracting me.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you don't want to engage.
No, it's hard to hear. There's just too much.
She's saying, okay, you don't want to engage. She wasn't saying, okay, you're a lying bitch.
Yeah.
She's saying, okay, you're a lying bitch. Okay, you don't want to engage. Listen, okay, now that I've told you, she's saying, okay, you don't want to engage.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even sound like when you say it, but listen again.
Sure.
Questions, which is more than some of your colleagues.
Yes, thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you don't want to engage.
Do you hear it now?
One more time,
Okay.
please.
Court.
Colleagues.
Yes, thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you don't want to engage.
I don't necessarily hear engage, but I don't hear lying bitch either. I hear something else.
I hear both. It's
Now-
crazy.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
you don't want to engage, you lying bitch. That she said both. It's circular.
Yeah, depending on what you tell me right before I listen to it, that's what I hear.
Engage
It's-
makes much more sense. A reporter saying that into a mic. Okay, you don't want to engage. Like, meaning because she had asked her two questions.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they basically confirmed that that's what it was. But it's, I mean, going back to the human brain and how machines will solve all this for us, the power of suggestion is so crazy. When you hear those, depending on what what we're told that quote is, we hear it completely differently.
Yeah. She's very young, too. She graduated Harvard
The
in
White House press
2017.
secretary?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's beautiful, too.
She does a good job. It's a very difficult job.
It's a really, unfortunately, she's married. I was going to try to take her out for some ice cream. But she
She
is,
would have loved that.
yeah, she would have.
Oh.
The two of you, both in love with different married press secretaries for Trump.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if they both got divorced and then we could double date with the press secretaries? I'd be fine with that. If Jim had, what's the new press secretary's name? I just know her as non-Kara Huckabee.
McKinley.
Kaylee. Okay, I know her.
Not McKinley, no. It's
Kaylee.
McKennedy.
McKennedy.
McKaylee.
I think it's McKennedy.
Kaylee McKennedy.
McKennedy.
It's a hard
Kaylee
name to say.
McKennedy. I know her as not Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah.
But that would be great. We could double. We could all four go out for ice cream. Let the ladies pick the flavors. People,
Yeah.
it'd be great.
Yeah, she's from Tampa. A delightful young woman from Tampa.
She looks like she's from Tampa.
She does.
She's got
she
Florida
looks like
look,
a Floridian. Yeah, she's very hot.
Yeah.
Very bright. Harvard Law, 2017, 32. Is that how old you are when you get out of law school? 29? Or 28? Wow.
Yeah. Sarah Huckabee Sanders does not look like she's from Florida.
Yeah.
She looks like she's from like
A cave.
the Midwest.
Oh, all right.
What were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, she definitely
But yeah,
looks
I
like
was-
Midwestern, possibly Southern. You could tell she likes to eat fried chicken and that kind of shit.
I mean, what is that? What do you mean?
Well, just as far as like, they like whole, like, hearty food in the Midwest.
Right, like
You know what
Kaylee
I mean?
probably likes a beet salad.
Yes.
Right. You're just talking about her vibe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sarah
Oh,
Huckabee,
okay. Okay. All right. Yeah.
fried chicken, probably mashed potatoes,
Like if I was
Loves
like
mashed potatoes,
driving her,
corn.
corn.
like if the four of us were in a car, right? And it was me and Sarah Huckabee Sanders in the front. I'm driving, obviously. And Jim and McKaylee, or whatever her name is, in the back. And I was like, who wants to go to Cracker Barrel? The two in the front seat would both be like, fuck yeah. And the two in the back seat would be like, do they have a salad or something?
Do they have shrimp cocktail? I'd like some grilled octopus. And she would laugh
Right.
and say yes. Jim would like grilled octopus. Yeah.
But me and SHS would have a good time at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
don't
get
love
what
you're-
Cracker Barrel. I've eaten at them. I don't love them.
Yeah.
We get a good hearty meal at a very fair price.
Cracker Barrel's the best.
It is
Yeah,
really
they're
good.
okay. I don't hate them. I'm just like, I've eaten at them on the road. And when you're forced to eat somewhere because it's the only place you can kind of get egg whites, you resent it.
You got egg whites at Cracker Barrel?
If I remember correctly, yeah. I don't remember.
They probably look
I don't
down
know
on
if
them.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's their specialty. He wants us to take out the yolks.
No, but when I told them it was a separation of the colors, they were like, this man's on our side.
I will say, I took Hot Dog to a Cracker Barrel once, and he said that, I was like, how you doing, bud? And he was like, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not the most comfortable in the world based on the decor here, but there's one other person of color in this restaurant, and I feel like we keep looking at each other. And we know that as long as the other one's there, we're going to be okay.
It was you.
Oh, maybe that's who it was.
Where was this? Was it on the road somewhere?
Yeah, I feel like it was probably coming home from Montreal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, so I was sitting there. I was kind of amazed at how clearly I heard, okay, you're a lying bitch.
Yeah.
And then when they were like, actually, it's okay, you don't want to engage. And I was like, let me hear that again. I just heard it. I heard a completely different sentence once they told me what it was.
Yeah, lying bitch didn't make sense, honestly.
No, it did
Just-
not. No.
It was just a weird thing for a reporter to say in that set of circumstances.
Hey, speaking of things that don't make sense, while we've got a little bit of time before Matteo Lane joins us, we
Yeah.
have not gotten a chance to talk about how Tournament of Laughter went on TBS. We talked about it very briefly yesterday.
We did.
But we haven't really gotten a chance to break it down. No surprise here, by the way. So we found out the results on Sunday. The Sweet 16 was Paul Rodriguez versus Chip Chipperson.
Yeah.
Chip Chipperson did indeed advance on.
He was victorious.
And yes, and Sunday's Elite Eight battle was between Gilbert Gottfried and Chip Chipperson. In my mind, yes. In my mind, I don't even think it'll be close. I think this will be all Chip. No disrespect to Gilbert. Obviously, we love Gilbert. I just think that he's not ready. He's not ready for the Chip Army.
Yeah. I think the Chip
You know-
Army is a force that most people are not, they underestimate.
Yes, because as much as you've got to credit Chip for the content, you also got to credit the Chip Army.
It is the Chip Army. Yeah, Chip
Yes.
shows up and does the charge and leads with humor, as he says, but it is the Army that supports Chip and pushes him through.
I feel like there are some comedians on this thing that are getting by due to the quality of the product that they're putting out there on television.
Chip, it would be one of them, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't. Okay, all right.
Oh, we're probably just going in
Sometime-
different directions in that thought.
We were, yeah. We were two
Oh, okay.
separate. We went fork in the road. We each went different ways, but that's cool. That's cool.
Well,
But
he
they
has not
did
earned one new fan. I'll say this: Chip has not earned one new fan. Not one thing is done for people who are not already in. If you're in, you're gonna love it. If you're not in, you're gonna hate it.
I badly want to find somebody that is just watching like Tournament of Laughter because they were like, oh, that looks like a good show. Like, I really want to find someone organically that doesn't know Chip just to get their take on what's going on this program. Because as we said, I mean, this week continued the trend of last week, which was they take the Chipperson video and they turn it into the marquee matchup. So they spent the whole hour show, every single commercial break. We got Chip Chipperson coming up. We got Chip Chipperson coming up. It makes me chuckle every single time. Like, every time they go to commercial break, I just go,
Yep.
They didn't have an interview with Chip this time. But what they did do was they actually, did you watch the whole show?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
It's funny,
So
I
you saw
never
that
watch me, though. I'll watch Chip, but I never watch my stuff. But Chip's I'll watch.
I'm the same way with you.
Yeah, I don't blame you. We see each other enough. I watch you on wrestling.
Well, this is like for
I'm
me.
lying.
Well, you watch if you find out there's booze.
Yes, I do.
You watch the clip.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Travis sends it to me.
And then when the booze start to dissipate, you're like, okay, I've seen it.
I'll watch it if Travis sends it to me and labels it as something else. Then I'll watch it.
Yeah. You can be hoodwinked into watching it.
Sure.
But they went back. You remember last week they did the montage of all the comedians talking about what they love about comedy.
That's
and they
right.
put in like 4 Chip clips as he was wearing his like Sergeant Pepper's jacket and weird 3-corner hat or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Well, they brought in Gata, who is Lil Dicky's hype man, to judge the fashion
That's right.
of everybody. And they started with Chip. So let me see if this clip works.
First one being Chip Chipperson.
Ooh-wee. Chip. Your style is lit, bro. Right now, you giving me them Elton John vibes.
Yeah.
And those shoulder pads on that jacket, he looked like Captain Crunch on the cereal box. He swagged out for show.
Oh, Fortune Feemster.
Congratulations to Chip, swagged out for show.
Yep. Chip felt like he was swagged out. He did feel like that.
Really?
Chip didn't care for the Captain Crunch comparison. And I believe wrote to the producers to have it edited.
He
down.
did?
Yes, a future broadcast.
He wanted it edited out.
He wants it edited out of future broadcasts. He just wanted to make him look silly.
Gata started complimentary, but then maybe was making light of his choices for shoulder
Sure.
pads.
Yeah, Chip didn't care for that. He felt his broad shoulders were appealing to the ladies.
I see.
Yeah.
See. He didn't want anybody knowing he was wearing shoulder pads anyway, right? He wanted
No, it's
people to think that was.
embarrassing.
Yeah,
Built.
yeah, I get that.
In the gym.
But he liked the other stuff, like woo wee, like all that.
Yeah, Chip
He wanted to
swagged
keep that
out
in.
for sure. Yeah, he liked that. He appreciated that a lot.
So Chip
Very
is
much.
like, leave the compliments in, but anything that could be construed as negative, please remove.
Remove. Yeah, any mockery or any snideness. Any snide comments, Chip would like taken out.
Right. Which I'm sure Chip's developed quite an ego as TBS has completely fallen into this thing. Like they've completely given into the power of the Chip army and they're feeding Chip's ego.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. He's becoming unbearable.
How has Chip been taking it? Does he feel like the success is deserved? Does he feel like there's not enough of it?
Both. It's deserved, and there's not enough of it. Why would Chip have to choose between those thoughts? He feels both. He feels that there's not enough success, and it's extremely deserved.
So he thinks that TBS should actually have more Chip stuff on this Tournament of Laughter.
Oh,
yeah,
he does. Not enough. He's furious at the producers.
By the way, Sunday is going to be the next episode. So
10
if you're watching, make sure you tune in Sunday so we can find out if Chip beats Gilbert. And then if Chip were to beat Gilbert, you all have to stay vigilant in your voting.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be going up against Tim Dillon or
Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport. Yeah,
Yeah.
which are formidable foes, to say the
Sure.
least. So
Yeah.
now
Both doing
it's,
very well.
it's more. Yeah, it's more important ever to vote now than it was
Yep.
before. But we spend the entire hour with promises that Chip Chipperson will be here, and I believe this is when we finally get to him.
In a performance that left me breathless. But I've gathered my breath, I've taken my inhaler, and I pray that I can handle what Chip Chipperson has in response.
Oh, it should also be noted it's not audio, but they put out the fact sheet, the comparisons of the two people. I mean, Travis, you already know where I'm going with this. It said, comedic influences and this and nicknames. First, it said nicknames, and under Chip, it said daddy.
Oh,
Yeah, it did. And then it said hobbies or, huh?
Oh, under Gilbert's it said schmuck.
Oh, yeah, under Gilbert's it said schmuck, yeah. And then under hidden talent, I believe. It was hidden talent on national television. It said tugging my pecker.
Yeah, it did say that. Tugging my pecker.
Which I know Mike Montone had to be losing his mind when he saw that. He's just saying it now. He's losing his mind.
It is fun to say. It's fun to do as well. And it's fun to
On
read.
TBS, you're sitting there. Old women watch TBS, and it's just this guy putting up the peace sign, holding a wad full of cash, and it says hidden talent.
A wad full of
Tugging my
ones.
pecker.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not the most impressive role. When you look at it, it's not a very impressive role.
Tugging my pecker.
Yeah, I did catch that.
And Chip's comedic hero was his muddest friend Lamar.
Does it say that?
I mean, yes, it does.
Oh.
Yeah.
My mother's friend Lamar? I don't remember that. Okay.
Talk about not earning any new fans. Like
Yeah.
nobody who hasn't been listening to Chip for years gets that.
No one.
If you aren't super, super familiar with this character, nobody knows who Lamar is.
They have no idea. Or Mudda. Why does he say Mudda? They probably use, they don't understand exactly what that is. I think if you're going to go out, like if Chip is going to go out and burn
Yes.
or do well, it has to be exactly what he's been doing. It can't be anything different. It can't be some new Chip, new family-friendly Chip. It's just got to be this idiot and his Mudda's friends. It's got to be the same guy.
I just love that he spells phonetically. Like he spells how he speaks.
Sure it does. That's the way people can see. They can hear Chip when they read it. You can't read that and not hear Chip.
No, tugging my pecker. It's only one way that could go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we see? Chip did another cooking show. He did another episode of the cooking show, which I don't know if you saw. Maybe a little rivalry already brewing. This wouldn't happen until the finals if it were to happen, but Jeff Ross also did a cooking show.
Yeah, I did see that.
So I don't know if Chip is feeling slighted by that.
No.
Chip is probably so focused on his own shit, right?
He didn't take notice. Chip didn't care. He didn't give a shit.
Sometimes Chip's a little oblivious, yes?
Yeah, he doesn't care. Anybody else does. And these other fools. Chip is not concerned.
Welcome to another edition of Chipperson's Delights. Boy, have I got a treat for you today.
Hey, a question I've been wondering since I saw this, because it was never explained on the program. Why is Chip wearing a towel around his waist?
Chip was wearing a towel with nothing underneath it. There was really no reason for it. And there was a stain in the front that I didn't notice when I was doing it. Yeah, there really is no reason. He was just wearing a towel, and there's one moment I saw when he steps away from the oven, and I could see the bare thigh, and I'm like, it's really obvious. It's just wearing a towel with nothing under it.
Chip is wearing a black T-shirt tucked into a towel. By the way,
Yeah.
It's the strangest look.
It's not a good look.
It's tucked into a towel that's like over his waist.
Yeah.
Then of course the Chip hair and the headband and the glasses. And then you've got like a Hannibal Lecter in Europe hat on.
Yeah.
Like when Hannibal Lecter is in Italy or wherever he goes to.
He went to the island
That-
to have an old friend for dinner.
Right. Well, yeah, when they catch
do you mean
him
part
in the
two?
third one. Yeah, in the sequels.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's the same, yes.
Same hat,
When he
yeah.
goes to an island to have an old friend for dinner. Same hat. Yep.
I'm gonna teach you how to make a fun snack for your kids that is not only delicious, but it's nutritious as well. My mother's world famous lima bean cookies. Now, as many of you know, I'm a legume guy from way back. One year for Halloween, I dressed up like Lima Bean Man, where I went to the school and I was handing out a bunch of lima beans. I said, here I am to spread nutrition, and all the kids loved it until Henry Wilkerson picked me up in my Lima Bean Man superhero costume and slammed me face first into the toilet bowl.
It's funny. They always want to know, are these real people? Like, they have to make sure that I'm not saying a real person. I get that all the time. Is this a real person? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
If it is, Chip is.
Two things I was like, I left going like, I can't believe. Number one, that the story just ends there.
Yep.
Like, he's talking about being a legume guy from way back, but it just ends with his face getting slammed into a toilet.
Yeah.
And there's no recourse or anything. It's just,
no, there's nothing.
That's where
else.
the story ended.
That's it.
The other thing, like the cartoon Chip gets slammed into the toilet. Is this Coke Logic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Coke Logic made Chip get all bloody and his teeth get knocked out and everything. Like, it looks really violent. And they left that in, too.
They did. Yeah, I noticed that.
It's really unpleasant. Yeah.
I think it's because it's a cartoon. It's like, they've been very lax with any of this stuff. Like, I don't think there's anything other than music. Like, you have to be careful of not using copywritten music, or if there's background photos, like legal shit. But they haven't, nothing that has been submitted. They hadn't said, hey, you can't say that or do that. Like, it's all been fine. They've been very easy.
I mean, who would have thought you'd get Tuggamapeka in text, in print, out on the show? You know, that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah. Isn't
And
Samantha
good for
Bee on
TBS.
that network? Samantha Bee's on TBS. I mean, and she said content. I mean, it's like they're
That's
pretty
true.
lax with the language. I think fuck they don't let you say, but asshole shit. Like, you have pretty good language freedom there.
That's great.
Yeah.
You preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Cut that part out. Oh, God damn it. That's all right. No one got hurt. That's all. Look at those. Look at those delicious beans. Right now, you have a delicious pool of lima beans in there, just waiting to be eaten and enjoyed by boys and girls.
By the way, I
Sometimes
know
there's
that
too
that
many
fart sounds fake, but it was not fake. You know that, right? That was obviously, I hope no one, it was such a crisp. I'm like, I hope people don't think that was some cheesy sound effect. It really wasn't. That was a real fart.
Like, it's one of those where you almost have to do over because it sounds too perfect.
It sounded too much like a fake fart. That was 100% real. And in the original version, I walk away quietly. There's like a really long, uncomfortable moment. This just was, it had to be edited down from 6 minutes to 3. But yeah, that was a legit fart. So I don't want anybody to think that was fake. That there was a funny noise. I would never put a fake fart in.
Is Patreon getting the full 6-minute version?
Patreon, I put that night. I put the 6-minute version up. Yeah, and again, they can't give you 6 minutes on national television.
No,
so
of course not.
We know how long the videos are, but that was one I made before I knew the exact length. Anything after that, I have a rough idea, so it's kind of the proper length.
So farting and cut that part out. That was just a little on the spot improv, huh?
That was legit. Yeah, cut that part out, and it stayed in. Yeah, I was so happy that their editors didn't misread that and actually cut it. I would have been furious.
Oh, can you imagine?
Well, we send it in
Chip
completed.
said
We send it completed.
Uh-huh.
You never let anybody else edit your shit if you can help it. You always send it in, and then if they want something edited, they can ask you or tell you what to take out, and then you can do it.
Right.
chocolate chips, you put them aside, and what you do is you take a nice tasty lima out. And
Dude, that drove me crazy, dude.
What?
They're not limas. You call them limas.
Well,
Well, it's a lima bean. Why would it be a lima?
A lima is
Like, it's not
a
like-
kind of bean. It's how you would. It's a familiarity with a friend.
Yeah, that's your over familiarity with lima beans, or Chip's over familiarity with lima beans drove me crazy when he was like, "You take out a lima." Who calls them limas?
Well, they are. It's a mealy vegetable. I'll be honest. They're unpleasant to handle. They're an
looked
unpleasant vegetable to handle, whatever they are, or legume. Did not enjoy handling them at all.
and you wedge that little mug right in the chocolate. Look at that. What? Oh, now. Then you pop out a nice lima and you wedge it into chocolate. And then you take another one while they're nice and soft and pliable and you wedge it into chocolate. Oh, look at that. If your mouth isn't watering, you should call somebody and ask for help.
Dude, the wrong emphasis works every time.
So embarrassing.
You should call some.
It's so embarrassing. So fucking embarrassing.
Hey, Jim,
But when
what
I
have you been up
listen to Chip with other people, I now I know what it's like to date me. Like, this is how embarrassing it is when I do Chip if I'm with a girl. It's so fucking embarrassing.
You kind of got to explain, like, oh, he's not really like that. He's just it's a character.
It's humiliating.
You should call and ask for help.
And then you take the lima out and you put a couple of the limas in the top like that to make like little mouse ears. Hey, I have a delicious treat for boys and girls. You damn skippy you are. Oh, that's hot. Oh, now. I'll see you in a delicious little while. Goodbye, little.
Why was it hot if you hadn't put it in the oven yet?
The oven was hot. Opening the oven, you could feel the whoosh of oven air.
And you went, damn, that's hot.
Yeah. Chip's accent's all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over the place. And I like that Chip is so insecure that he has to say something about everything that's happening. Like, he just has to fill everything, right?
This snow. Look at this. It gets my mouth watering just thinking about these delicious cookies. Look.
It's foamy spit coming out of your mouth.
His mouth does water. It does water.
But it's not even water. It's like foamy. Ugh. Comes out like two vampire fangs.
Like it's time to go on in there and get the cookies. You got it, little buddy. Woo-wee. Oh, you can smell them. The whole house smells like delicious lima bean cookies. Look at these. Oh, they're so chewy. They're falling apart.
I did think it was funny that the cookies were all burned in different sizes.
Yeah, but it was not the neatest cookie experiment. It did smell good though.
You didn't smell the limas?
Oh, I mean, that was a part of it. Obviously, the too many chips are no good. Too many chocolate chips are out. The chocolate chips spoil the flavor.
I see.
Okay.
Look at that. That looks delish. Have a little ice handy to put on top of the cookies to assist in the cooling. Look at these two little guys. They're friends. Don't separate us. All right, little fellas. We'll put you right there, and we'll put a cube on each one of you. Let the ice cube cool the cookie.
The part they had to cut out just for time we cut was to cool the cookies, and Chip brings a fan over and turns the fan on to blow onto the cookies to cool them because nobody likes a warm cookie. Everybody likes a nice cold chocolate chip cookie. No. But bringing the fan over had to be taken out.
A nice iced cookie. Just a cold, soggy cookie with a lima bean in it.
Much better.
Oh, and you ate it. Like, you actually ate it.
Oh, yeah.
Was it gross?
Lima bean cookies.
No. Chip
when you're cooking, always make recipes.
Well said, Chip. When you're cooking, always make recipes. Words for a chef to live by. And you know, a huge part of Chip's game is in his facial work. Okay, so let's look at 2 moments from that clip side by side, and you can really see his range here. Okay, now first we see Chip's chew face, full eyebrow scrunched, puckered lip.
Well, it really is. You realize how truly ridiculous it is when they look at your dumb faces in slow motion.
Yeah.
Like, Chip chewing in slow motion is absurd.
Yeah.
Distaste is there too, but so is the will to power through and eat that lima. Now you contrast that with Chip's fart-faced, a little less scrunchy, and most importantly, the mouth corners, they're turned down to indicate to us without a word, you caught me, America. That just about wraps it up for this week.
So there it is.
Chip was last.
Chip was the headliner again, 2 weeks in a row.
And they didn't even make a mystery out of it. Like the first week, It was like, hey, we're teasing all these people. And then as they kept teasing Chip, it was like, oh, okay, he's going to be the last one. This week, I mean, they said multiple times, coming up later, our marquee matchup, Chip.
Yeah. Yeah. They made specific reference to the
I
fact
believe
that he
it
was
three
Mark.
teases.
I guess so, yeah.
I also feel
a lot
like
of teases.
Jason Sudeikis is starting to definitely get Chip. Or at
Yes.
least, like, you know, what's going on.
Yes, I would agree
I
with
think
that.
he enjoyed the interview they did. I think he was. I believe he had a good time with that interview. He's really great. I like him a lot. He's he definitely he plays it very straight.
Yeah, he's a good host.
He's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely think once he did the interview with Chip, I feel like he started to kind of get smartened up to Chip, and now gets a little bit of a kick out of it, because I thought the analysis of the facial expressions was actually very good and in the Chip universe.
Yeah.
So
Now, when he interviewed Chip, was anybody else there, or was it just Chip the whole time?
It was Chip on camera with him. They were both in like a Zoom call, and he was at his desk, and Chip was just standing up.
But nobody else. Nobody else was there. Just Chip.
What do you mean? No other characters?
I mean, no other
maybe
people.
the
Like,
person who plays the character.
Yeah, like did Jim show up and say hi to Jason, or was it just Chip the whole time?
Jim didn't say hello to the people, the tech people. It was all Chip.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I didn't know if Jim was. I
sorry,
didn't know
yes.
if Jim was there.
No.
Jim was out. Okay, that's
No.
fine.
It was literally.
That's great.
It was setting up the tech, and it was nothing but, God damn it, this isn't going. Hold on a second. There's a lot of that. Hold on a second.
That's great.
Hold on a
mean, there's-
second. A lot of that.
there's probably a bunch of footage if they were recording that TBS could actually use. I would watch
Sure.
that. Lyle trying to just being impatient with the tech crew because he's a
Yeah.
diva.
No, with his own stuff. Because they're set up. Sorry, guys. They're set up, and you just got to take your own stuff. So it's just Chip getting his own shit ready and getting the mic ready and making sure like that. Because you got to record on a separate lav as well. Like I have a separate lav I'll clip on to make sure you have the audio, and then you send that in with the video file. And I'm recording on my phone above the Zoom to make sure they have it. So just making sure all that stuff is coordinated. But there's nothing for them to do really except run the Zoom call, which they obviously do.
God damn it.
God damn it. There's a lot of, hold on a second. God damn it. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
This was definitely my favorite video.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm happy with the next one if they show it. I hope the next one gets shown.
I have to tell you, I don't know if it's because I've known Chip as long as I have, and I want to go a little more old school. But for me, I still feel like going to the club was a real special one. I'm a big going to the club fan.
Well, that's because it's an activity. There was another
Yeah.
card game which I wound up not putting in. Again, King of Hearts, which simply just went on Patreon because it was too short. It was like too short, it was like 2 minutes and a half, 2 minutes. And I thought of bringing that one back and making it longer, but I said no. Let me just do new ones. This next one is definitely more complicated.
Can you tell us anything about it, if it even airs? Whether it's a trick or
Have to wait till Sunday.
Oh, I'm going to with bated breath.
Yeah.
What an exciting time.
It's
Who would have thought? I mean, you talk about
would've-
being.
Chip would have thought. Chip would have.
Of course, Chip saw this coming a mile away.
He sure did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overdue in his opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, and not enough. He's furious at the lack of respect being shown by TBS. Furious.
But at the beginning of 2020, Chip was at least half retired. He was, for all intents and purposes, he was fairly close to retired.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this tidal wave starts again.
Yeah.
And boom, here we are, bigger than ever. Chip is a TV star. He is the marquee.
Is Chip hoping to parlay this into another television show with them?
No, I mean, obviously that it's not really realistic. I mean, it's one of those things where, 4 months ago, there was no podcast or whatever, and within 4 months, the podcast came back, and Chip is on television. It's really bizarre. It's fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
No, I don't think a TV show with because it's a network. I mean, what the fuck is Chip going to do on a TV show? I mean, are there sketches Chip could do or a talk show? Sure, Chip has talk show ideas. And there are a couple of people he would love to interview. They're not necessarily celebrities, but there is a person that Chip wants to interview that I'm hoping could get done.
I like the idea of a Chip variety show where Chip would host it. It'd be like 30 minutes. Chip would host it. It would be mainly sketches, and then maybe one short interview per show. Like maybe a 5-minute. Maybe you do an interview, you edit it down to 5 minutes, and then the rest of it is like 3 or 4 sketches per show. And
maybe
in
a
between
prank sketch. A prank?
Sure.
A prank would be
people
fun.
love pranks.
They love pranks.
They love pranks. And then in between each sketch, Chip is just on a sound stage kind of teeing everything up. Almost like, not exactly like, but, almost in the vein of Chappelle Show a little bit, but I'm thinking more of like the old school 70s.
Bigger, bigger.
Yeah, like the big variety shows with the big rainbow curtain behind him. And yeah.
Well, if people do like prank, I can only say this. If people like prank shows.
Yeah.
Then you would hope that at one point, maybe not this week, but maybe after, you would hope that there are some pranks. You would hope.
What a tease.
Well, then I would say this, as somebody who has no knowledge of anything going on, I would hope that people are going to keep voting. Because if you don't see it, at some point you would hope there will be some kind of prank. And people love pranks. But at some point, people love pranks. But at some point you would hope there would be a prank from Chip. And if you haven't seen it yet, all you can do is keep voting for him. So eventually we get to see a Chip prank. Well, I want to see somebody get
Chip
chipped.
prank show would look like.
Oh my gosh. Yo, you got to keep voting.
Yeah.
You got to keep voting.
I think people have been very good. They've been great. The Chip Army has been helping a lot.
The Chip Army.
Very fun. It's so reading the social media account for TBS, which is like literally the only social media I check is TBS's account to see fucking some of the funny Chip comments. They make me laugh. People are enjoying. I think people are enjoying like assaulting people with this nonsense that no one knows what they're talking about. It's literally like coming into a world and speaking pig Latin, and people are like, what is funny about Chip Army sock cucka? What does that mean? Like they think you're trying to be cute. They just don't understand what it is.
Just responding to a message by writing the word peckles.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying. It's not funny. It's not clever.
They don't get it.
No.
They don't understand.
No. But I can't wait. So Sunday's the day to get all that done.
Yes.
Did you see Trump's thing about Ghislaine yesterday?
Yes, I did.
The weird response. Not the most well thought out response. I think, by the way, this was the same reporter who asked him about Ghislaine that asked him our question about Joe Exotic and pardoning him.
I called her Ghislaine. He said her name wrong.
Did he say it like I say it?
Ghislaine, yeah.
That's so funny. I didn't even notice that.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
He did, yeah. He called it like I. It's so
funny. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly.
Ghislaine.
There's a longer version.
What a weird thing to say.
But he didn't make. I mean, the longer version's not any better for him.
I think he's sweating a little bit, don't you think? I'm sure she knows shit on him.
She might, although I don't think it's anything. Because any of the girls said that he wasn't shitty with them or creepy with them. She may just know about some waitress that he hooked up with or someone, you know what I mean? Like somebody who was the proper age, but that just nobody knows about. I don't think he's sweating like he did something like that. I think it's more like she might know about somebody he possibly, had something with who was legal, but just that he doesn't want out. That would be my guess.
Right. He's also a super socially awkward person. Like he doesn't know how to interact.
He might not
that
know
might
what
have
to
been-
say. Like, oh yeah, what is she? Who knows?
But it really is. I mean, that's aside from just admitting guilt. That's got to be the worst way to handle that that question.
Yeah,
I wish her
her
well.
well, yeah.
It's just not a good. You're not supposed to wish her well. There are other people that you have to wish well.
Why? Because of like the sex trafficking?
That might be it,
Okay. All right. With
a lot of the
underage
sex
girls?
trafficking. Yeah, the sex
Right.
trafficking with the underage girls.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I see where he missed up.
Yeah, this might be the longer version here.
No, I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it. Don't know. I haven't really been.
I mean, that's really suspicious, to tell you the truth.
He said it twice.
It's one of those
I
things.
just said,
think he
really
just
wish her
wants
well.
to stay away. He just was like, you guys deal with that shit. He wants nothing to do with it.
Also, I don't know anything about Prince Andrew. You didn't bring him up, but I don't know anything.
No, I think they did. Someone did.
He
ask
did say
him.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah, the
Oh,
guy
okay.
said something about Prince Andrew, or the guy mentioned him.
Such a
But I
weird
mean,
thing
to say I don't know anything about Prince Andrew, like really, I do. Like, and I'm just a guy. You got to know something. And then he goes, I met her several times in Palm Beach. I guess they used to live there. Well, you know that. You hung out with her. You can't meet somebody several times. You meet them once, and then the other times you're hanging out with them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
also
hung out
his
multiple times at
inability.
Mar-a-Lago.
Right. So, I mean, his
well
inability
documented.
to be concise fucked him here. Like, he could have just said, I don't really know anything about that, and moved on. But he always wants to say something. He always wants to have more words to say.
Yeah.
And the more words he says with this one, the worse it gets.
Yeah, if he's worried about anything, I really, again, and like, I don't think him or Clinton, it's not an underage girl thing with either of those guys. Someone said that Clinton was having an affair with Ghislaine Maxwell. I believe that. Maybe that's who he was hooked up with.
Okay, but
Maybe even Trump
then-
too. Like, but I think it's more. I don't think it's the underage stuff with those guys. Just because
So
they
then
don't.
the question-
I've heard that from no one. Like, none of the girls have said that.
Right. So then the question comes in, though, if they're hooking up with her, or if they're dating her, or if there's something going on, they probably know what she's doing. If they're at the parties and they're hanging out with her and they're hooking up with her, the idea that all the underage massage stuff is going on couldn't be a surprise if they're that close, theoretically.
But you also have to realize when especially a guy like Clinton, or when certain people are around, who knows how much of your life you show that person.
That's
I
true.
mean, again, especially with Clinton with her Secret Service, or Trump, I'm sure came with a security guy. He used to always walk around with somebody. Like, do you show them that side, or is it just like, oh, hey, he would like these two hot girls and they're both 30? Like, you might cater what you're showing to certain people because, again, you don't want to risk them walking away from you either. It's almost like if you do coke and you have certain friends over the house that you know are powerful and you're really happy to be friends with them, but if you do drugs, they're going to leave. Well, that might be that type of situation where, like, I can't do coke on the table with these people here.
I have a tough time believing that there's one group of powerful networked people that know about the pedophile stuff, and then there's the other group of powerful networked people that don't even know about it. I can believe that they weren't participating, but I have a real tough time believing that this was as sort of wide-reaching as it was and organized as it was, and you listen to these girls talk, and it was a complete lifestyle for Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, he was more into underage girls than he was into his business, and he was a billionaire. So you can only
Trump
imagine.
said that he liked them young. Trump said that in an interview once. That
Yes.
Jeffrey liked them young. I don't know if he knew that he liked them 15, but he knew that he liked them on the younger side. I think he said on the younger side. So who knows?
It's probably
Maybe-
one of those where you see young girls around, but you don't ask. That I can believe. Where you see them around and you just don't ask. You're not sitting there checking IDs because, as much as they don't want you to leave, you're not trying to have this party end. And back then, when we're talking about all this stuff happening, it's not like we're talking about this stuff happening 2 years ago. We're talking about this stuff happening a while ago. There were a lot more secrets kept back then.
Yeah. I'm just not, because no girl has said any of these guys have done anything like that. Like those, especially Trump and Clinton. I don't know what they knew or didn't know. He may be more, which is why she may know a couple of things about him that would be a little embarrassing. But he's finding out all this stuff, and he may realize, like, maybe he's realizing the extent of what they were into. I don't know. He must have known about Epstein's conviction, but I don't think he hung out with him after that. I don't know if Trump hung out with him after 2008.
Yeah, he says he did not.
Yeah,
but even before 2008, I doubt that he learned of the act. Like, I doubt that when Epstein was convicted, the people that hung out with Epstein were like, oh, not Jeffrey. No. You know, this was something like he was doing this all day, every day. He's doing this all the time. This guy loved sexual massages from underage girls, just nonstop.
I don't know what those guys, they may have, but again, I'm not going to pin that on them until one of the girls says, yeah, he was there when some shit was happening. So far, none of them have said that. And they have no reason to.
Right. No, that's true.
Yeah, none of them have said that. They haven't said it about Trump. They haven't said it about Clinton. Like, no, he was nice. He said hello, and that was it. Like, he didn't.
But then why aren't they? Weren't they being more specific? Like, why aren't they going like, look, I hear all this. I know what's going on. I know my name keeps getting brought up. I was at this party. I did not know this was happening. That's the beginning, middle, end. Instead of these weird sort of, I don't really know. I don't really know anything about it. It's like the biggest news story. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I wish her well, but I don't know. I don't know what anybody's talking about. I'm in the dark on this one.
It may be because there's other stuff that is not connected to anything illegal, but still something you don't want to hear shit about. It may be that. It could be something that this has nothing to do with illegality or just,
like,
you know,
you don't want to.
She knows about this one girl. She knows this one, you know, or maybe Trump smokes pot. And who the fuck knows? I mean, something that he just doesn't want to piss her off.
Or you could survive a Stormy Daniels when you first get into the White House, but it'd be tougher to have a Stormy Daniels during election year.
Maybe. I don't even know if anybody would care. Honestly, a girl, if a girl came out and
At
said
this
Trump,
point,
I don't think no one gives a shit.
How could they? Yeah.
I mean, any of these guys who are just having an affair, who cares? Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I wish her well. Good. Godspeed to her, right?
Yeah, it was probably not the best way to handle it, but
no sort of like, no, not even a mention of there could be victims here. Not even a mention of, oh, I've heard terrible things. Just, I don't really know, but I wish her well. Like, how could you not? You know, I know, so you know.
Yeah,
that's where it gets
weird.
Suspicious. Yeah, the complete inability to talk about it at all.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not, you know, because he's pretty harsh about certain things.
Yes.
But again, I don't think he's trying to hide monstrous behavior on his own part, because I think that would have come out already.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked if that were true. Yeah, I'm not, I kind of agree with you on that, but I do think that he knows, I think that whole network knows a lot more than anybody's letting on.
Yeah, it might. Sure.
And I think that everybody, my theory is that they're all just kind of lining up and hoping that worst case scenario, we can just get Prince Andrew to take the fall. Sound like such an asshole on TV anyway. Let's just pin this all on him.
Yeah.
You know, we need somebody who's high profile. Somebody high profile so we can say, look, I mean, justice was served. They got Prince Andrew. You know, if Prince Andrew can get got, then I think a lot of other people can walk away.
Yeah.
And that might be what they're kind of counting on, because Prince Andrew's not getting away, unfortunately. You know, he's doing his interview about the, you know, he can't be molesting girls because he was at a pizzeria. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, how the fuck do you remember you were at a pizzeria that many years ago? I remember because that's not an activity I do a lot.
Right.
Shit.
Right.
Explanation.
I mean, I think this guy might fold under questioning.
Yeah. Yeah. I worry about you, Andrew.
Yeah, so not the greatest thing in the world, and definitely fodder for the conspiracy theorists out there, fodder for the folks that like diving deep into this thing because we haven't heard much about the Ghislaine stuff, and I feel like because her trial's not for a year, so I feel like we're just gonna kind of be.
It's not crazy.
Sitting here, a year.
That's to keep. By the way, that's to get her cooperation. That's literally because they might know. Hey, it might be hard to convict her on those charges because it's so many years ago. And look, it sounds explosive, but under legal scrutiny, it might be really hard to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt. So they may go, let's let her sit here and see what we can get. Maybe I was wrong originally. Maybe she has not been cooperating, but they want. Who the fuck knows? Yeah,
I mean, the fact that they've got her now, they're going, best case scenario. Best case scenario. You've got some, completely locked up case where you're going to be found not guilty. You're still going to have to do a year in jail waiting for your trial.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Unless you cooperate. Maybe there's some kind of deal where she can cooperate and they'll put her on house arrest or something like that because, man, a year. Waiting, especially with all this COVID stuff going on. It's going to be a different world a year from now.
Yeah.
She's going to be sitting there all holed up, thinking about her 38 mansion she's been living in since old Jeffrey got suicided.
Yeah.
Hoping that the wrong person doesn't knock on her door to drop off her meal, wondering if she can eat it. You think she's paranoid?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she's afraid of... She's just afraid of losing everything and being stuck in jail. Same thing Epstein was afraid of. These guys live better lives than we do. And I mean, I don't want to go to jail. None of us want to go to jail. Imagine just losing your house and your freedom and going to jail. Imagine having 500 million or flying private all the time and living the life they've lived. And then all of a sudden you're shitting into a thing with no lid. Ghislaine Maxwell has to shit into a jail toilet now. Do you understand how different that is from the Ritz when you have to shit into a jail toilet?
She probably had one of those. She probably had one of those bidet toilets.
Yeah.
Like she probably hasn't used toilet paper in the longest.
No, she probably had a human bidet. It was just somebody with white gloves who licked her asshole when she was finished. Jim Norton.
Yeah.
Did an article come out that she's worried that somebody's going to get her?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I didn't read the article, but she might be, yeah.
If I was Ghislaine, I would not want to touch any of that prison food because who knows who's putting what in it. I'd be petrified. Because there have got to be, whether they're famous or not, there are definitely people that want her deceased and silenced.
Sure.
This is too big for that not to be the case. And you wonder, too, if this is going on with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff and the pedophile ring. Is this the only place that's happening? Are there other powerful people doing the same stuff that we just don't know about? Or is this a totally unique situation where this one powerful guy decided to do this with this one woman?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't make sense. It would just be one person,
right?
On the, I'm sure there's other people that we've never heard of, who are, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Pizzagate, I don't know if Pizzagate was real, but I mean, look, when you look at the conspiracy stuff, there is something to be said for all these powerful people there was a ring going on. Like, it wasn't as crazy as it sounded. It sounded crazy at first, but it's not as crazy. I guess most people can't imagine that exists, but when you look at it, it's like, it's not as crazy as it sounded.
Are you going from official story James to QAnon Jimmy right now?
No, but I can't be, you can't deny the fact that there is, but even the official story isn't as, I'm not saying Pizzagate, but I'm saying the official story isn't even, is that, well, there's these high profile people involved in this thing. I mean, just because it's QAnon or some other group, just because they're saying it doesn't mean it's wrong. I mean, it might be right.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's always the reason that conspiracy theories work is because there's little elements of truth in them.
And they're not always wrong just because they're conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but I can't write something off just because it's conspiracy. Like, again, I'm not saying that pizza, but I mean, are there powerful people involved in this stuff more than most of us were aware? Yeah, it looks like there is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible to deny that.
Who was the New York high-powered guy who had the QAnon thing on his desk? Was it
he was the head of the police union, one of the police unions.
Yeah, he
had a
was
QAnon
head of one of the police
mug.
He had a QAnon mug on his desk. He was taking a picture. It's like, and
He was on TV. He was on Fox.
Yeah, and he had forgotten, I guess, that he had left his QAnon mug on his desk.
Or he didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or he didn't.
You gotta be big into QAnon if you got a QAnon mug.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make a purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Troy, you got a QAnon mug?
No, I do not. I told you, like, I dove into that just to figure out what it was because I never heard of it until you had sent me that video. And then they told me that the one idea was that JFK Jr. was going to come back and support Donald Trump. And I was like, I can't, this is crazy. I'm not going down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, this is nuts. I can't go down this rabbit hole. I got to go shave my head for the third time and take my pants off.
Well, at least I know the COVID's real.
That's right. That's right. Smart. All right, you want to take a break?
We probably should, yeah.
Yes. We have our friend Matteo Lane, who's going to be joining the show today. Best Barbara Corcoran impression in the business.
The only and best.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe everybody else is just too scared to do it. It's already been perfected.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Matteo, see how he's holding up, do a whole bunch more stuff. Stick around. We'll be right back.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Hey, it's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
We're here live in the morning throughout quarantine, Jim.
Tons of material on the SiriusXM app. If you don't have it, get it.
I mean, there's full shows, audio and video, interviews, segments, everything we're talking about. You can see it and hear it with the SiriusXM app.
Yeah, so if you don't have it at this point, you're pretty much stupid. And what else are you doing? Go get it. We're here live. Go watch it.
Search us out, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on the SiriusXM app.
Or don't.
This is Howie Mandel. The Just for Laughs Virtual Comedy Festival is now on SiriusXM. Every day this week, SiriusXM's comedy channels are your destination for the very best Just for Laughs stand-up in the past 35 years.
These guys are out of their minds!
Groundbreaking performances from Kevin Hart, Amy Schumer, Bill Burr, and so many more.
I surround myself with a collection of uglies, so I pop, you know?
The Just for Laughs Virtual Comedy Festival all week long on SiriusXM comedy channels.
When running a business, HR issues can kill you. Wrongful termination suits, minimum wage requirements, labor regulations, and HR manager salaries are not cheap. They're $70,000 a year. I'm Alan Jones, founder and CEO of Bambi. I created Bambi specifically for small business. Get a dedicated HR manager, craft HR policy, and maintain your compliance, all for just $99 a month. Seriously, let's change HR from your biggest liability to your biggest strength. With Bambi, your dedicated HR manager is available by phone, email, or real-time chat. From onboarding to terminations, we customize your policies to fit your business and help you manage your employees day to day. All for just $99 a month, period. Month to month, no hidden fees, cancel anytime. Get a free HR audit today.
Go to Bambi.com/faction right now to schedule your free HR audit. That's Bambi.com/faction. Spelled BAM to the BEE.com/faction.
Adjusting to a new normal means we need to be smart about how we do business. Thousands of small business owners have discovered the benefits of Stamps.com and kept their businesses running while avoiding trips to the post office. With Stamps.com, you can print postage on demand and you'll never pay full price with access to discounted rates you can't even get at the post office. Like 5 cents off every stamp and up to 62% off USPS and UPS shipping rates. Print official stamps and labels right from your home or office computer for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send. Once your mail's ready, just leave it for your mail carrier, schedule a free package pickup, or drop it off. It's a no-brainer. Right now, listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale with no long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the home page, and type in TALK. That's Stamps.com. Enter TALK.
Hi, I'm Greg Miner. As the founder of a small business, I know firsthand how difficult it can be to manage through cash flow problems. When I tried to borrow money, the banks wouldn't touch me and I got a lot of fast talk from loan brokers. That's why we founded Merchant Capital Source 10 years ago, to help small business owners like you get the funding you need without getting the runaround. We'll fund your business from $5,000 to $200,000, and because we're a direct lender, there's no middleman to cause delays or cost you money. If you've been in business for 6 months and have sales of at least $15,000 per month, we can approve you within hours and put cash in your account within 3 days. The process is fast and easy, and the best part is that no tax returns, financial statements, or business plans are necessary. Experience the Merchant Capital Source difference and get cash for your business today.
Apply online at mcscash.com or call 800-368-2294. That's 800-368-2294. 800-368-2294. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lender's Law license.
People are calling Dish service technicians the good news guys. They install Dish in people's homes, then comes all the great news. I say great news instead of good news. The Hopper from Dish is TV's most powerful DVR. It'll hold up to 2,000 hours of TV greatness. You're going from being able to store a little bit of your home renovation show to being able to store a lot of your home renovation show and your cooking show, your cop show, your doctor show. You get it. Even that show you won't admit to watching. Dish's Hopper holds a ridiculous amount of TV, and that's some seriously good news. I call it great news. They call it good news. That's their business. Whatever your passion, record up to 2,000 hours. Just another reason Dish is ranked number one in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Dish, tuned into you. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours is based on SD programming. For J.D. Power 2019 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To learn more, dial 1-844-CALL-DISH. Visit dish.com or find a local retailer near you.
You can hear every MLB game on SiriusXM. It all starts tomorrow with a 60-game sprint to the postseason. Every at-bat matters. And in a season unlike any other, you need MLB Network Radio's experts more than ever.
You've got new rules, which means new strategy, which means new chaos.
Join the conversation on Sirius 209 XM 89. Every game through the last out of the World Series is on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Hi, I'm Mike, Dish Network Service Technician. People call me the good news guy. I install TV's most powerful DVR, aka the Hopper. It holds 2,000 hours. You want that whole season? Record it. Oh, that one too? Why not? This DVR holds a ridiculous amount of TV. That is some seriously good news.
Whatever your passion, record up to 2,000 hours with Dish. Tuned in to you. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. To learn more, dial 1-844-CALL-DISH.
This is an urgent message for all Americans who owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt during the current coronavirus pandemic. If you've fallen past due or are struggling to make minimum payments, you may qualify for National Debt Relief's Debt Reset Program to become debt-free in 24 to 48 months, paying only a fraction of what is owed. To qualify, you must have at least $10,000 or more in credit card debt, personal loans, medical bills, or collection accounts. National Debt Relief has helped clients resolve more than $3 billion of debt. Enroll now with no upfront costs, and for a limited time, National Debt Relief is offering a deferred payment plan. If you're facing financial hardship following the pandemic, are struggling to make minimum payments, or considering bankruptcy, there is no risk to call and speak with a certified debt specialist to see if you qualify for the Debt Reset Program to become debt-free in 24 to 48 months. Call 800-894-9055. That's 800-894-9055. 800-894-9055.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/XM. That's right. Free, zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/XM. That's forhims.com/XM for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/XM.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company helps you customize your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Unlike things you paid for you didn't need, like that much-needed 125-inch flat-screen TV.
It's hurting my eyes a lot.
For your 100-square-foot bedroom.
My neck isn't so much stiff as it's completely stuck.
With Liberty Mutual, get customized home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Uh-oh, I'm seeing color splotches. Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
What do we all enjoy talking about? Erectile dysfunction. Incorrect, of course. It's not easy to discuss. We kind of just brush it off as men. We fake headaches. We pretend we're tired. We avoid it altogether. You're like, it's just too much on my mind. Or we give vague excuses. We languish in vagaries because we don't want to discuss our stupid penis not doing what we want it to do. But with Roman, it's easy to talk about it with a real doctor who can prescribe real medication. It's simple, safe, totally discreet. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for your fledgling penis, erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your own home. The doctor will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you with free 2-day shipping. The whole process, straightforward and discreet. Ironic, they say straightforward, when that's the one thing your penis is not doing, is dangling there stupidly like a pigtail. Getting started, very simple. Go to GetRoman.com/Teft. Complete an online visit. Erectile dysfunction. It used to be tough to tackle, but now there's Roman. Complete an online visit today to connect with a doctor to take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/Teft. Teft. Nothing says a fresh erect penis like Teft. If approved, you'll get $15 off your first order of erectile dysfunction treatment. If approved, $15 off that first order. That's tremendous. GetRoman.com/Teft.
Broadcasting live from quarantine. We are back with Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Show.
But I feel like Troy is one of those exhibitionists where he's just trying to pass this off as, well, this is just what I'm doing right now. Like I'm not wearing any pants and I happen to get up and you might see something. Except he wants us all to see, and it's making me uncomfortable.
I mean, look, no one's telling you to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not wrong, Troy.
It's work.
Yeah, no one's telling you to keep watching after you see it.
Well, yeah, exactly. You can turn your head.
So then, all right, cool. So let's go to the office, and you can walk around in bikini briefs. And if anybody complains, say, "Hey, just don't look."
That's different.
This is just what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, it's just me, man. I don't want to get corona in the office.
I get corona in my clothes, man. I put them right over there. That's where they sit till I have to go back out.
But you refuse to have indoor basketball shorts or something.
Well, like the other day for Jim's birthday, I had washed a pair of pants, and then I put them on, and so then I did wear them that day. But then once I go outside, then they're tainted with the COVID. So then I have to put them there till I go back out.
Right. Because if COVID is in that side of your apartment, it's not going to get you in the other side.
Well, I don't think it can jump from that area over to here.
Well, it doesn't. It's not an animal. It doesn't jump. It's airborne. Like it exists in the air.
Troy, don't sacrifice your comfort for Sam's insecurities.
Right. You're right. That's 100% right. If he can't stop tugging his prick, that's his problem. Not yours.
Well, no, that's true. There is some truth to that, too. Speaking of that, did you see that guy that stole that 40-pound dildo?
Montone?
I think Montone was jealous. I think he was like, that would have been a great addition to my setup here.
It complements the pocket pussy very nicely.
Absolutely. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what the guy's going to do with it, but he stole, they said, the headline is great. It says shafted. Cocky thief walks out with 40-pound dildo from Las Vegas sex shop. A cocksure crook pulled a fast one on a Las Vegas sex shop when he slinked off with a supersized sex toy. My God, you got to respect that level of writing. Surveillance video of the July 14th theft shows a masked man strolling into the Deja Vu, ooh la la, love boutique in broad daylight and heading straight for a 3-foot, 50-pound dildo displayed on the sales floor. There's video. TMZ got it. TMZ's got all the coverage. But, you know, the guy's got a pretty strong guy. He just lifted it up, put it on his shoulder, and he walked out with it. Nobody could stop him. And he had his COVID mask on and a baseball cap. So nobody knows who the dildo thief is.
Yeah, I wonder if they saw it and it's like, who's going to, what are you going to do? Stop this guy? Who wants to tackle a man with a giant dildo?
Yeah, or maybe they realized too, like, we're not going to sell the thing. Like, all we're going to do is move it eventually. Just let him have it. Let him have it.
Let him have it. You're right.
Yeah. Matteo Lane is joining us here on Jim and Sam. Our pal, comedian extraordinaire, Matteo Lane. What's going on, man? How are you?
So early. Good morning. Good morning. It's nice. It's nice to be
I love that you're saying it's so early. Like you're not on the West Coast, right? You're still in New York, right?
Yeah, I just haven't woke up this early in a long. I mean, also like what is time, but
right,
you know.
right. What has your schedule been like? What's your sleep schedule like these days?
Well, I usually play Fortnite till like 1 o'clock in the morning or something.
Dude. What exactly is Fortnite? Is that a shooter game or is that where you build shit?
It's like both. It's like the Hunger Games, but for. Am I wrong? Right? It's like you're.
No,
like
that's right.
Yeah, like 100 people are dropped onto an island, and then they have to collect like wood and steel.
Yeah,
and guns and stuff, and then the island slowly closes and it draws everybody to the center, and then whoever the
and
last
they kill each other.
Yeah, whoever the last person standing is wins. So it's usually me and Yamanika, Jordan Rock, and Jermaine Fowler playing.
Dude,
is it mostly comics that play in the group you're playing in?
Yeah, we're obsessed.
I'm so glad you brought this up because I don't know if Jim remembers, but I mean, months ago, the last time you were on the show, this was probably like the beginning of COVID because we didn't even have Zoom set up yet. It was like on the phone or whatever. You were saying, you know, I started playing Fortnite with Yamanika and like other comics. And so, yeah, my first thing was going to be, did this maintain? But clearly this is like, it's literally the first thing you brought up. This is your life now. You're a competitive Fortnite player.
I am, and I'm wearing the stupid like games. It's a whole thing. I moved to a new apartment, so that's why I'm in an empty apartment. I'm trying to my project to sort of make a home for the next couple of weeks.
And you're cutting out a little bit. You're saying you have the gamer headphones with like the little mic piece in the front, which is very convenient.
You're cutting out too. Both of you are cutting out, so it's not. It's like I don't know who it is. It's not me.
Sam, are you cutting out for me or no?
Not for you.
I'm not cutting out for you either.
You guys are both cutting out.
It might be your connection.
For me.
Yeah.
I have good connection.
I have a good connection.
Travis said it's his connection.
I do.
Travis said that? Travis is blaming you, though.
Have to come back in?
Yeah. See if he can come back in. But that was a funny defense. But I have a good connection. Like, none of us want to believe it's our cable. But yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
It might be yours.
Yep.
No, it's probably mine. All right. I'll come back and I'll be right back.
Perfect. Okay. I'm going to...
Troy's was fine.
Yeah, trust me, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my Wi-Fi network just in case, so my video might disappear for a sec. I don't think it does either, but you know me. I'm always taking the blame.
No, I mean, I'm starting to notice,
Travis, comment?
Just... I mean, like Joe Rogan, who's probably got the best internet in the world. He was fine the other day,
Yeah.
And then...
So what are you saying?
There he is.
All right, is this better, you guys?
So far, but I want you to know something. While you were gone, Travis was taking pot shots at your internet service.
I certainly was not. I was just speculating.
I also just don't care.
But that's the other thing.
Doesn't it interfere with your gaming, though? If your internet's not great, won't that mess you up when you're gaming?
For a long time, so I wake up on a radio show. It sucks. Oh God. Is there?
Oh no.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
So
It's a long delay.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad. Usually Jim and I just like power because everybody at some point or another gets delayed on this thing. It's just the technology, and usually Jim and I have just figured out how to power through it. And your delay. Roger Stone still has the worst delay by a mile, so don't feel bad. But yeah, this is
Matteo's talking. He's
tough.
actually saying things that he said before the pandemic. That's what we're actually hearing. There he's now.
Oh yeah.
Switch over to my other goal. All right. It's unstable. Well, this is great.
Your connection is unstable. Yeah. That's the
that's
message
so
I get
weird
in
too. 'Cause
relationships. Yeah,
your connection's unstable.
Connection is unstable.
It's so weird too, yeah, because you would think somebody that like does multiplayer gaming every night, like Zoom would just work.
I know. Zoom's are the most pointless I've ever had, but the one time I actually want to be on Zoom and have a good time, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Right.
it's weird. Zoom is very. We had Patton Oswalt on yesterday, and Monday, and it was crazily bad. Like we talked to him for like 2 minutes because he was on such a crazy choppy delay. It just happens sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm on a really bad choppiness, I can also just like, I don't want to piss
Well, how
you guys
are you
off.
feeling with the tournament of laughs? You're doing very well.
Oh God, the tournament of laughs. Well, you're doing very well too. Congratulations, Jim.
Well, it has nothing to do with me. I mean, I'm a part of it, but I have nothing. I'm totally out. I have nothing to do with it.
I have no. The thing is, like, we all got that, email or whatever saying, "Do you want to be a part of this?" And I was like, "Sure," but then I had no idea. No one knows what anyone else is doing, so I have no idea the quality of anyone else. It looks like some people snuck into Lionsgate to make their little videos. I was like, "Oh God!" I was literally at my friend Bob the drag queen's house, just throwing on wigs, trying anything with a iPhone because I didn't know what was going on. But it was pretty fun.
With an iPhone too, an iPhone with a lav mic. Do you have a lav mic?
Yeah, I have. No, I have. My friend Jacob has like a really big microphone that we just use. Like they use it for
that actually
podcasting.
picks it up well. Yeah, it helps to have an extra because the iPhone is surprisingly fucking good. But I mean, sometimes it picks up a little echo or whatever. But it's way better than I would have thought. Having an extra mic kind of helps. They want that.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I was like, do I do characters? I don't know how to do. Like Saturday Night Live seems like seemingly impossible because they have to do that every single week, multiple times. But I think if you're given limitations, it makes it easier. Like if someone says you're gonna like the fact that you're doing Chip, it's like okay, you have something that you can focus on and sort of play around with that. Yeah. I think the fact that there's just so much freedom, they're like, do whatever you want. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Cool. This week I'll be Jennifer Coolidge. Like I have no idea.
I was super.
It is hard to pick and choose what you want to do. Yeah.
I was very excited that you managed to sneak Barbara Corcoran in this week. I was super happy to see Barbara Corcoran, and that you got in the, for the Shark Tank loyalists, the fact that she was out of the deal immediately, even though there was no deal. I thought was just wonderful. I was very excited about it.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I did Joe. I've never even seen. I did Joe Exotic, and I saw one episode of The Tiger King, but I can do that impression really well. So my friends were just like, he would say something like, he dates people who doesn't have teeth. I'm like, okay, I want someone who doesn't have any teeth. Like I was just making shit.
Oh, you never saw the whole thing?
No, I don't have that kind of confidence.
It's actually good. It's surprisingly good. It wrote me in. I guess because it was the beginning of the pandemic too, so we were all looking for something, and that really got me. I was like, that was so much better than I thought it would be. So if you're bored, even though I think people have found enough shit to do now, like as we've been here for 4 months, people like they kind of know how to fill their time. It's not as confusing as it was 4 months ago.
Right. We just know how to fill our time for sadness, crying, eating. No, but I moved neighborhoods because now there's all these good apartment deals in New York. So I found an apartment in the West Village for like nothing, like a 1-bedroom. So it's very European down here compared to where I used to be. Everyone's like eating outside, and it feels like you're like in a mini France.
Yeah, it's people are definitely real estate is probably it's a good time to buy and it's probably a good time to rent. I was telling Troy that because a lot of people are leaving New York or it's their second home and they just don't want to deal with it anymore.
Well, one of my friends said, "Oh, these people were panic buying and they got a house in the Hamptons." I said, "That's not a panic buy. No one's panic buying a house in the. If you're in the Hamptons and then you panic buy from a mansion to a 1-bedroom, that's a panic buy. But there's no panic in buying in the Hamptons."
Right.
I've never been to the Hamptons. I'm jealous.
I haven't either.
Was it weird to move? Was it weird to move while all this was going on? I mean, you go from being quarantined, locked up into an apartment to going through the moving process itself.
No.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, first I already had coronavirus, so I'm also like,
right.
I mean, I'm wearing my mask and wearing my gloves when we're moving and stuff. So it's like I can't wear an astronaut suit. Like I can only do so much. So I'll just wash my hands and try and not cough in people's faces.
When did you have it?
What did you say? Oh, I moved first.
When did you have it?
I had it in like the beginning of March, like March 14th.
Oh, okay, it was late. Yeah.
I had it a while ago. Although I think a lot of people probably just had it and didn't know for a long time.
Right.
Was it bad when you had it?
Yeah, I got sick. I mean, I had like back aches and fever and stuff. Fever and stuff when I was 12. But I did lose my sense of smell and taste. But at the time, I didn't think anything of it because no one knew. But then the New York Times wrote this article where they were like, "That's one of the biggest signs that you lose your sign of smell and taste." So I was like, "Oh, there you go."
That's what I'm double checking because I was in Indiana this weekend, like for 24 hours. Like we just drove and then drove back. So I really didn't interact with many people at all. But every time I eat or smell anything, I'm just like, "Can I taste this? Can I taste it? Okay, I'm good. Okay, I'm still good. I'm still good."
Yeah. Why did you drive to Indiana for 24 hours?
We have family there that we wanted to visit, and then when we got there, we were like, "Okay, we've done enough. We're good."
Yeah,
that's like a 12-hour drive.
It is a 12-hour drive. Yeah. It's a long drive, but it was one of those things. We spent 24 hours there, and it felt like a week. So we were like, "Okay, we can." We actually ended up. We went going like, "Okay, we might only stay for like literally 24 hours." And I was like, "Well, we could do the show remotely now. Like we could stay for an extra day." And we ended up leaving 2 hours earlier than even we initially thought we were going to leave.
Yeah, that's Indiana for you.
Yeah, that was what it was. We've done
it. We've done it. Usually when you drive 12 hours, you're driving 12 hours to paradise. No one's driving 12 hours to Indiana.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
you get there,
where in Indiana? Because it depends on where. I mean, actually, it doesn't depend. It's all kind of the same bad.
Yeah, we were right outside Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is fine.
Right. I mean, it was fine.
It's
it was
okay.
just not.
Indianapolis is okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not bad, but I'm not sitting there going like, "Oh, thank God I got to see this part of Indiana." It's fine.
Well, Indianapolis, they have in the middle of the city, they have this like canal, this built-in canal, and then they have gondola rides. And I took a gondola ride like 6 years ago with Sashir Zameda, and it was real embarrassing.
Why was it embarrassing?
Because you get some guy who's like, in Italy, they eat mozzarella. Oh, sole mio. And he's, doing the shitty gondola. And just people in Indiana like, "I hear mozzarella's great." It's like, this is so weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah, you realize
I've taken one gondola ride in my life, and I enjoyed it more than it was. I guess because the guy didn't really pay attention. He just kind of pushes you through Venice, and I don't know if I would necessarily do it again, but it was okay. That would suck.
That was a humble brag just there. You just said, and they just kind of pushed you through Venice. Like, you didn't mention that the gondola ride you took, like, there's a big difference between taking a gondola ride in Venice, Indianapolis.
Oh, well, yeah, but you guys.
Matteo just told a story about Indianapolis, and you went to Venice. And it's like, yeah, the gondola ride in Venice would probably be a little bit more.
Maybe.
No, but that is a really great question. Where else would I take one? It's not like you're in You know what I mean? It's not like you're in Baltimore and you're like, oh, the gondola's there. I mean, it's like there's only so many places you can take a gondola ride. One's in Vegas. I guess Indianapolis is another one. And then the real Venice.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they're not gondolas on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, right? They just take boats.
I've never been there.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I've actually never been to Venice either, but I do know the gondoliers or whatever their name would be. They have to study there's only they're allotted a certain amount that can actually be a gondolier or whatever, and they have to go through years and years of studying, and it's like a really prestigious, difficult job to have. It's a whole thing. It's you would think it's just some Italian who's on a boat being like, hey, who wanted to sing Sole Mio? But it's really hard. It's like a very big honor to be a gondola driver.
Is there nepotism there? Do you think that's all families or the son, the father? How do you think that works?
I don't know if it's usually through the bloodline. I mean, maybe if there's a father. I mean, I don't know. Italians usually love to keep things within the family. But I watched this documentary on it, and there was this guy who just studied 10 years, and you have to learn how to make your boat. I mean, it's not just learning how to drive the boat through the city, because it's a very difficult city to navigate, but also you have to learn how to make the boat and care for the boat, and everything's about the fucking boat. Yeah. And but if you get this job, you can support a family and you can make real money, and it's a whole thing. It's not just some guy who also works at the Macaroni Grill in Indianapolis who decided to drive a boat one day.
Yeah, I really would have thought it was.
Yeah,
I really would have thought it was just like a tourist trap, that you're the whole gig was just hustling tourists out of money.
I mean, I think that's part of that too. They're just making tourists pay a lot of money.
They're not exclusive.
Yeah, I didn't say they were elite. I'm just saying it's a difficult job to get. They'll still take money where they can get.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, like the carnival workers, that there are families of carnival workers that throughout generations, the kid becomes the new carnival worker and everything. That makes sense.
It's like they say in my favorite song, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. They travel from town to town. The men come, they throw their money down. I mean, come on. That's
I love Cher. I love her so much. You do. Vogue is doing this thing, or maybe it's Vanity Fair, some gay magazine, where they have people, really big celebrities, go back. If it's Vogue, go back and look at their old looks, and they had Cher do it, and it's a picture of her with Diana Ross and Elton John. She's like, I don't remember where I was for this photo. Flips the page. I'm like, what? That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to talk about the clothes.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's bullshit. Sonny, oh God, my Boniva.
How old is she, Matteo?
I'm in my early hundreds. I wear a fucking diaper when I get on stage. I'm tired. I need an oxygen tank just to sing Believe. I saw Cher in Vegas. She is great. But she's also old that when she skips, the whole audience is like, ah! We're nervous that she's not going to make it. She actually sang on a gondola. She just stood on a gondola, and it went across this huge stage, and you're waiting for her to get off, but she didn't. So the gondola just kept going, and we're like, well, I guess Cher's doing a duet with herself. I mean, it was so weird. She also hasn't caught on to cultural appropriation yet.
Right.
I think she's kind of grandfathered in. She's grandfathered in.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to argue Cher, but
isn't there something about seeing somebody who's that old, who has that much work done, there's that much plastic surgery, that they look even more fragile? You just expect it to break and fall apart at some point. There's some doctor thing that is holding everything together, that once one thread goes, she'll just go into a pile of bones.
Well, the weird thing about Cher is, compared to the amount of plastic surgery that the Kardashians are getting, Cher looks, it's like child's play.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Cher looks normal.
She's had work done?
Yeah, but the Kardashians are smart. The Kardashians get their plastic surgery when they're 16 years old.
That's
They can kind of grow into it, make it look even more natural.
It's weird how we've become comfortable with that look. You see what I'm saying? It's like we are so comfortable looking at, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's definitely a unnatural look, but we've just become so accustomed to it. Like, oh, that person's face doesn't move and their face looks swollen. As Lady Bunny said, it looks like these women are rimming a beehive. I mean, it's like they come out, their lips are just so big, and this is okay now. This look has become acceptable. This sort of plastic surgery look.
Yeah, with the giant lips, where it's a cartoonish. Like any other era, it would be cartoonish, but now it's like, oh, she looks great. Oh my God, what is she doing? She's really coming into her own.
And the cheeks done, lips done, jawline redone, Botox, hairlines. God, I'm jealous.
It is weird when you see somebody really young who's had shit work done, and it just doesn't look like, what the fuck are you doing? You're 25. It looks weird. It doesn't look, you look. It's not a sexy look. I mean, I like full lips though. I got to be honest. Getting blown by nice fat full lips is a delight.
You like
really
that?
Is great. Yeah, I honestly, big fat fucking wet pillows feels good on your dick.
I'm not saying, I think plastic surgery can look really good. I think people can get work done and look great. So good for them. I think that, like you said, there's some people who are probably, last minute trying to get some kind of surgery because for whatever validation, and they're going to a bad doctor and they get bad work done. And it's weird that we're all just like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the weird part. Not whether it looks good or not, just that you don't bat an eye. Like it used to be when somebody got breast implants, it would be a story. Oh, man, she got a boob job. Now, I mean, people go in for plastic surgery every other weekend, and it's nothing.
Well,
you don't even
now
know.
People are coming out with their asses done. They look like centaurs. And we're like, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kardashians all look like queen ants just walking next to each other.
Yeah, and then people have the nerve to say like, "Oh my God, Kris Jenner looks great for her age." And you're like, "This isn't God given." Like, what do you mean? Yeah, but
I mean, Kris Jenner does look great for her age, but she also looks a little like Jafar. So,
yeah,
good for them. They, Kris Jenner, if that's the life that they want, then they did the right thing for themselves.
Yes.
I mean, they make so much money.
Right.
Do you think you'll age gracefully? Like even me, and I'm not like, no one's ever liked me for my appearance. It's it's never been something like.
Not true.
Nah, I mean, they think I'm
on.
okay, but I mean, realistically, it's not. My looks have never been a point that meant anything in my career. But even me, I get self-conscious. Yeah, a little bit here, a little bit. Hey, getting fatter. Like I notice when I'm a disaster. So, do you think you'll age gracefully and just go fuck it, whatever happens, or do you think you'll be on like a panic mode?
I mean, part of me wants to become that plastic surgery gay, who from the neck below I'm 60, and from the neck up I'm this weird shellacked monster that doesn't quite. I want my hair plugs to be falling out but still kind of hanging on. I want to dye my hair. I still want to be wearing like something leather, and being at the bar and acting like I fit in my daughter's jeggings. No, I mean, I definitely will get I've already gotten Botox.
Have you?
I think, yeah. But I think that'll be about it. I don't imagine myself getting filler. Maybe hair transplants if I really lose my hair, because I'm already starting to lose it all on the sides. So, but I don't think I'll do much.
What's the difference between Botox and implants? Well, whatever you said, inject. What's the difference?
Filler is usually something to I don't mind. Filler is filler is something you put under the eyes or in cheeks or in your lips to help sort of enhance almost like to get back to your baby face, like to look like youth. But I don't think it's ever quite looked. It doesn't look natural to me. Like maybe in photos, but then once the face starts to animate, it looks freakish. So I don't know. I don't mind I don't even mind having wrinkles or having like bags under my eyes and stuff. I just, I had this, my friend who's a doctor was like, "Do you want Botox?" And I was like, "I do. I'm in quarantine and I'm bored and I want Botox. Because I figure if I look like shit, like if I get Cruella de Vil eyebrows, no one's gonna know for the next 3 months.
Do they go back to normal after your Botox wears off?
Yeah, everything goes back to normal. But I got such a little amount that he was like, "You might as well not gotten it." I was like, "Just," I felt like the Joker. Just do it.
Yeah.
They have to unwrap my face.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, they're sticking needles in you.
Yeah.
It all hurts.
Why, are you
None of
thinking-
it feels good.
Are you thinking about it, Jim? You thinking about getting a little Botox for yourself?
Nah, not really. I don't give that much of a shit. Like, I mean, it's not something that I'd be 100% against, but I've never even considered doing it. But I more just know nothing about the process. I just don't know anything about it. I mean, again, no one's going to cast Jim Norton. Like, we need a good-looking guy. Like, it's just not what my lane is, and I know that. Like, it's never. I'm 52, so if it hasn't happened at this point where someone's like, let's, it's just not. So I know where I'm at.
Basically, the process of getting Botox, the process is you just walk in, feel very bad about yourself, and you walk out feeling worse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause you just did that.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you do aesthetically, you've got your lane. Like aesthetically is why Martin Scorsese was like, yeah, you can play Don Rickles.
Yeah.
You know, there is a desire for that.
But I want to get
aesthetic.
some work done and play Joe Gallo next time. I want to be I want to be sturdy and handsome. No one's ever accused me of being sturdy and handsome. I want to be.
I want to get enough work done that I can play Dina Lohan in the Lindsay Lohan Lifetime movie.
I think that's a tremendous goal. I think
Your
that's a great
mustache
idea.
makes me laugh a lot in the videos you're doing too. Just that you're doing her with like you unshaven and the mustache. It's just very funny that you just keep the 100% Matteo look, which makes me.
Oh,
live.
thanks. I'm sorry. You know, those videos, I really don't know what I'm doing. I was shocked that I got as far as I did. So, but I'm not a drag queen, but it's funny to kind of throw on like a shit wig and still have a mustache and like a little lipstick and just kind of pull it off. I don't know. If I was going to do more, I would definitely do like Jennifer Coolidge. I'm trying to think of other celebrities that I could do really good impressions of. But after a while, it's like if I move on, I'm like, I don't know what else I'm going to do. I have no more ideas. I'm fresh out of ideas. You got them all out of me. Just, do you want anyone to watch me cook for 2 minutes?
Yeah, look, I think streamers are big. You know this world. You already got the headset. I feel like Barbara Corcoran playing Fortnite with Jennifer Coolidge is the way to go.
All right, Jennifer, are you ready to kick some 12-year-old ass? Oh, God, Barbara, I don't know. I had a bad day.
Who's Jennifer Coolidge?
Jennifer Coolidge was in Best in Show. She also played Stifler's mom in American Pie. Remember her? You know, I want a hot dog.
I think you'd know her if you saw her.
I'm sure I know it, but I can't place her voice. I know it's a funny impression, but I can't place her voice.
Oh, if you saw the second, she's one of these people, if you don't know who she is, the second you see her, you're like, oh yeah, I know exactly who Jennifer Coolidge is.
I think she's in most of those Christopher Guest movies. Isn't she in Schitt's Creek too, or Schitt's Creek, or whatever that show's
Schitt's
called?
Creek? I don't think I don't think she's in Schitt's Creek. I've also never seen Schitt's Creek. I've seen like one episode.
No, me neither. I haven't seen
It's
it
pretty
either,
funny.
so
I mean, I've seen a decent amount of it, like in this season 1 when we interviewed.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, it's massive. They do 6,000 seat arena live shows.
They do?
Wow,
dude, they're fucking huge because they'll go out and do 2 shows in a 5,000, 6,000 seat play. They're huge.
This is my morning coffee, by the way. This is my.
Oh, that's great.
Is that like Turkish?
No, this is Italian. It's a mocha. It's like the Italian coffee pot or whatever you call it.
Now, what time do you normally get up, Matteo? Are you up like just for us right now, or are you normally up?
Yes, I'm up for you guys. Well, I usually wake up around 10:30.
That's a great life. That's a comedian's life. Like, that's what I miss. Like, I love doing the radio show, but I love going to bed at 3, knowing I don't have to get up till 10. Like, I was working last night, editing stuff, and I'm like, fuck, I got to go to bed like 12. Like, I want to stay up till 3 and do this because I'm much more creative at night. Like, I feel my mind works better at night.
Well, yeah, because comedians were usually up till 3 o'clock in the morning sitting and chatting with each other. So your mind starts to associate being up late at night and getting stimulated and chatting and joking. And I've actually gone to the cellar a bunch, and there's a ton of comedians just there.
Yeah.
So you can hang. I got lunch with Colin Quinn. Keith Robinson was there the other day, and Will and Monroe and Che. It's like, yeah, I forgot how much I missed sitting and talking with comedians.
They're just there hanging out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Getting
have you done any
or...
have you done any of the alternative stand-up stuff? Did you do any of the drive-ins or the outdoor stuff or the various things that people are doing or the Zoom stand-up shows?
I've not done a Zoom stand-up show. I did a show in Long Island last week. We did it indoors, which was weird. And I did 15 minutes, and it wasn't that I'm never nervous when I get on stage. So I walk on just kind of like usually how I walk on, like, hi, whatever. I'm obviously gay, but I couldn't remember beginning parts of jokes, or how this ends, or jokes I've said a million times. And also looking at my notes, like, what was I even? I literally in my notes said Titanic, Brazilian. Those are the last two jokes I was working on. I was like, I have no idea what I was talking about. But I'm headlining a club this weekend, and I've been really sort of afraid to advertise for it because people are getting crucified for doing shows. But it's like, I also have to eat. I have to pay rent.
Sure. Bring your notes up, though. Bring your notes with you. Like, people understand, I think, that it's been so long. I haven't done stand-up in 4 months. I'll just bring notes on stage and tell people. I was doing the same thing you're doing, sitting in the stupid house. I don't think people will be intolerant of it. I think people will like the fact that you're out and you're doing it, and everybody's kind of coming out of it together when we're doing. I think people will be very cool about it. I don't think they'll be dicks at all.
Yeah, I think so. And the audience, I'm at the Carlson, by the way, in Rochester, New York this weekend. So
that's a great club.
My ticket sales are abysmal, but I've also not promoted it, and I feel really bad about it. But then I'm like, all these comics are like, don't promote, you're going to da-da-da. I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, I have to eat.
You have to, yeah. And people don't have to go if they don't want to go.
Sure. I mean, at this point, too, it's like, well, you're coming on your own accord. Like, this is not
right.
But by this point, you don't understand the risk you're taking, and I'm taking, whatever. So if I'm upstate New York and you want to come watch me do 50 minutes on Susan Boyle, head on out. But I mean, I definitely wrote a lot of material in terms of like premises that I want to explore and ideas that I think would be really funny sitting in quarantine, but not having the stage to really work them out. There's sort of just ideas in your head that it's like, I don't know if this is funny or not. I have no idea if people think this is funny.
Yeah, and it's just putting the ideas down and going, I'm not sure what the weird part is. I've talked about this before too. It's when you're doing segue, like the end of a joke. Like, it's easy to remember the beginning to, like you said, Titanic, Brazilian, but you forget that like at the end of Titanic is a word that gets you into Brazilian, and it's the last word that is the fucking part I can't remember half the time. I'm like, oh yeah, like once I say the opening, I don't know where the fuck I'm going and how to get into the next thing. So that's why the notes just help. Sometimes I just read the notes and go, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Oh yeah, I'm actually excited to get on stage and start off and be like, hey, this is sort of what I've been thinking about, and let's just explore it together. It's like, there's no sense in being false. How weird it would be if I got up on stage and was like, hey everybody, thanks so much, Burger King, what about a queen? I mean, it would be it makes more sense to be like, we all just went through trauma, let's chat about it.
I'm gonna go up there and tell no jokes. I'm just gonna do an angry thing about the people we've lost and make myself cry, so people don't know what to do with it, but they still have to pay me.
I think it's a great idea.
Well, something tells me if you did that, people would still manage to find a way to laugh.
They might, yeah.
Maybe not with you, but there would be laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
but sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Have you gotten on stage and like looked at your notes and been like, I don't even know what this note means? Like, do you have that moment on stage?
Oh that I'd done a billion times, and I was looking. I was like, "What does this like?" I'm talking something about dating Italian women. Something I know nothing about, but I have a